Okay, we had Wings Over Broadway High School Football Preview, and we're going to quickly go through the schedule. There's 24 games, I think, from like 30 plus teams. My name is Andy Morales, Troy Hutchinson. I have my brother Javier Morales. We're the high school crew for All Sports Tucson, and we only have 4 byes this week: Sunnyside, South Point, Palo Verde, and San Manuel. Obviously, South Point's bye was imposed because Texas Valle, Del Valle, El Paso had 2 games scheduled for Friday, so they chose to play their game against the Texas opponent rather than South Point. But we're going to quickly go from 6A down to 2A, 1A, and we're going to skip through a lot of these games. Obviously, Tucson High is only 6A. They play a Metro Region game against North. That should be a good game for Tucson High. And then you're talking about Buena Empire might be a good game because Empire had a big victory. And Buena's at Empire, and I think they're both looking for their second win. Did you want to mention anything about that?
Looking for their second win, you get that second win. It's so much easier to be 2-1 than it is to be 1-2. It's a different mindset. It's kind of like that 1-1 count in baseball. Either way it goes, it changes the whole entire season and changes that at bat. So Buena coming off of a loss, I believe last week. How do you get back to that momentum you had earlier in the season against Catalina Foothills? And then Empire, the big win. How do you follow that up at home and get above that 500 mark for the first time in a while?
And then the other one, Centennial at Cienega. Both those teams are 1-1, but Centennial is 3-0 against Cienega by an average score of 49-9. So it could be a long night in Vail for Cienega. You want to touch on that game? I think you might pop over there.
Yeah, I'm sure that what the coaching staff at Cienega is going to be doing is using this as a way to bounce back from last week's game as far as effort goes. I'm sure their practices have been pretty intense under Pat Nugent, who's one of the top coaches in the city. So what I'm looking forward to see is how close they make the game, and if they're in it to the third quarter, then who knows what can happen. They did go up to Centennial last year and got routed, so a lot is going against Cienega right now, and we know Coach Nugent, he's a very good coach. He's going to get them to play the best of their ability, and that at home, who knows, if some turnovers take place, it could be a close game, and momentum, they can seize it. We'll see what happens.
Not only that, but being 1-1, coming off of a surprising loss, you're at home now, so there's still that, hey, we just lost that last game. You're still reminding yourself about that. So I think the momentum for Cienega to head into the next game is you want to prove something out there on the field after losing to Sunny Slopes last week. So there's that. I don't want to say you're more amped up for the game, but you're definitely more aware of the game.
And of course, his past player, Terrell Hayward, had a great game against U of A for NAU. Moving down, we have Saguaro can go 4-0 now. And they haven't given up a rushing touchdown all year. And they're going up against Marcus Niza at home. I sort of felt that this may be a rebuilding year for Saguaro, but it looks like they're just right back where they were.
They're winning in the trenches. Like you said, they haven't allowed a rushing touchdown this year, and they had 4 running backs against Sabino, who has a really good defense. They had 4 running backs have at least 50 yards. Isaiah Davis, he's a D1 material, and the coaches talked about that. He doesn't get a lot of publicity, but by the end of this year, he's going to get a D1 scholarship offer, the way he's been playing. So they're an exciting team to watch as far as running game, and I think they're going to run against Marcos de Niza. It's going to be another game like last week where they're just going to run all the time. So it's going to be interesting to see how many yards they can put up against that team.
And I think what really surprised me last week with Saguaro is how well they handcuffed the Sabino offense with Skaggs back there, and they were able to just really dominate that football game from beginning to end. So Sabino had that one drive to open up the game that was a long drive and really ate up a bunch of the clock, but after that they really weren't able to do anything. So I think that's what shocked me so far about Saguaro is that defense on that side of the ball. Yes, they can run the ball, but the defense has really come to play this year. And I think they're going to be able to do that moving forward to not only this game, but throughout the season. Defense travels. And I think that's the biggest thing for them.
And then the other big 4A game is Walden Grove, 2-0. They've never been 2-0. Great chance to go 3-0 against Casa Grande, but they haven't given up a point yet. Their coaches, Cam Davis, Alex Rios, are sugar skull players. Their defense is incredible. They had guys approaching 20 tackles a game, and the Lopez twins on offense. That's just a powerhouse, Walden Grove. And then go down. Got a lot of games. I'm going to be at the Troy Pueblo game myself because they're doing the Curly Santa Cruz dedication at Pueblo, and Pueblo again is 2-0, and 3-0 for the first time since 2017. That's what they're looking at. And then Push Ridge at CDO. I know that's the statewide game of the year. I think it's going to be it might be a long night for Push Ridge because CDO is back. Game of the week it's one of the game of the weeks that was chosen by the state. But CDO hasn't been 4-0 since 2010. So it's been a while. And Sabino and Catalina Foothills, I think you're going to pop over to that. You want to preview that game a little bit?
Yeah, I'm going to go over to that game, and Catalina, they got Catalina Foothills, let me correct myself there. They got their first win of the year last week, and I think Coach Kelly, you're changing a mindset, inputting your own culture, and I think that's what's happening there at Catalina. And Sabino, you're coming off of that tough loss, so let's see how they bounce back on the road at Catalina Foothills, who has some momentum now going into that game. So I think it's going to be an interesting matchup. Personally, I think Sabino being 9-3 against Catalina Foothills, dating back to when they first played. I think they're going to be able to set the tone, and we'll see how that game goes. I think it's going to be close, though.
I've been able to watch both those teams, and they both didn't fare very well. Catalina Foothills was against Buena, and Sabino last week against Saguaro. But the last two games, Catalina Foothills has kind of turned around. They lost at Cactus, but they kept it close for the whole game up there. And then they came back and they were out in Morano, which is having a tough season. But I think as they get those wins under Darius Cali, under that new staff, it's going to build. And I could see them doing really well against Sabino. The interesting thing is, Andy, you brought this up last week, is Sabino, after they lost to Saguaro, they won like 10 straight games. It's not going to be so easy for Sabino to do that this time around with the schedule they have coming up. And Coach McRae was talking about that. So Catalina Foothills is in a good position to get this game and continue building on Darius Cali.
And then I believe you talked to Richard Sanchez at Santa Rita this week. Region game, Benson at Santa Rita. I think Santa Rita picked up the first win for 26 games, but 11 with Sanchez at the helm. You want to talk a little about his mindset and the fact that he's one of the best 5A coaches in the state, coaching at a 2A level, but he wants to stick it out there?
Yeah, I kind of had the thought going out there and watching practice and talk to him, so is this going to be just a temporary thing? Because it's such a rebuilding project. They only had like 30 players practicing. I know a lot of teams have low numbers, but they only have 30 players. Not a lot of size, so they're developing a lot of things like in the weight room and so forth. And he said, no, I'm not going anywhere. I told the players, and I'm going to write a story about this, I told the players I'm not going anywhere. They thought he was going to leave after last season. He goes, oh, it was nice having you as coach. It's like, I'm not going anywhere. So he's going to stick it out there. And Dennis Benet right now is the dean, or he's the most winningest coach in Tucson or Southern Arizona. Richard Sanchez is the dean of coaches. He's been around for 20 years. And with Benet retiring, next year Sanchez will be the winningest and the dean of coaches. He's a legend. And I made a comment to him at practice. I go, do any of your kids know? Do any of the parents' kids know? Or that any of the kids' parents know about who you are? He's like, yeah, it's taken some time, but they know who I am. And he's got a lot of Sunnyside guys coaching that play for him. So he's bringing that family and that togetherness. And he's a great teacher. I don't know if you've ever seen him at a practice. He goes from player to player to player to player and pulls them aside for a minute and talks to them about what they did right or wrong. It's something you don't see too much because, the coaches are thinking about a group and so forth, but he's building, he's teaching and trying to get that program going.
I think you see that at almost every level. I think there's lots of NBA players who don't even know who, say, Larry Bird is. It's really crazy. We have Glenn Posey here, and he coached with Sanchez, and a lot of his players may not know who he is. And I don't know if you know Rich Allday, but he was a legendary baseball coach. When he coached at Iron Ridge, none of those kids, the parents knew who he was. And I gave them some reading material, and they're like, "Oh, we have a legend coaching us." So it's really great to see that. And then looking ahead, the week after that, we have some great games. Pueblo at Sunnyside on the 20th. Cactus at South Point. South Point right now is the Open Division. They're the 5th rated team in the state, according to Match Preps. They're not playing this week. It's going to be interesting to see if they fall. They have to stay in the top 8. But I guess a lot of the alumni want them to stay 4A, so it's going to interesting how that's going to work out. I think everyone in the whole state is going to be at that game, probably Cactus South Point. But thanks again. I think we're looking for a great Friday night. Andy Morales, Javier Morales, Troy Hudson for All Sports Tucson. We're at Wings Over Broadway on Camino Seco. And thank you to JJ, and thank you to Glenn Posey and Sunnyside, and Jorge Menita and Ampi for showing up. And we'll talk to you later. Thank you.
Wow.